little fun. Have me roar like an animal. Back to the bone. Watch out, 'cause I'm in my zone. I don't care what you think you got. It's not fair what you think you thought.
Kia ora and welcome back to Game 2 of the GJ Gardeners Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa, where the Tokomanawa Queens are looking for some home cooking as they look to go back-to-back, while the Hoiho, without their league MVP, Ashton Prechtel, look to spoil the party. The prep's done. This is the fun part. And who's going to be joining the Northern Kahu in tomorrow's grand final is a question only the hoop gods know. But lucky for us, we get to sit back and enjoy. Welcome to Te Rauparaha here in Porirua. I'm Brooke Rusco, joined by Casey Frank. We're one down, one to go.
Well, the first one, probably not as close as I would have imagined, but this one has a chance to be a little bit closer. The Queens, of course, have been fantastic on their home court here in the Final Four. The Hoiho, not at full strength, but when they're playing well, they can drain it from deep.
And I cannot wait to see how this one turns out, but it is a big couple days here. Obviously, game one in the books. The Kahu took that one 105-80. Next game is going on right now, and then tomorrow, third place, 3:30, back here. And then for all the marbles, 6 p.m. tomorrow night, the Kahu have booked their tickets. Is it the Queen or the Hoiho that are going to be joining them? Now let's take a little quick look. If you missed out on semi-final number one, and Tauihi Reid was busy from the jump.
Well, Tauihi Reid came out, put in some work in that first quarter with 13 first quarter points. Tessa Magin was fantastic throughout the entire game. The Five made a run in that first quarter. It was 22-22 after that, with some hot shooting from deep, but as that game went on, the depth, the strength, the smarts of the Kahu took over. Tess Magin, fantastic. Nearly a double-double with 9 assists to go with 27 points, 29 points for Tauihi Reid. Amari Thomas, a double-double with double-double for Panina Davidson as well. The overall depth of that Kahu squad rose to the top and eventually just wore down a Phi team that just did not have the depth to match them.
It is a tough team, and their starting five isn't much better than that going around the leagues. We look at the starting five right here, and there's one name that is missing, a big name, the MVP of the league. No Ashton Prechtel tonight.
Yeah, no Ashton Prechtel means Zoe Richards going to have to step up. She's played fantastically in her absence, had 30 points or 32 points 2 weeks ago in her first game without Ashton Prechtel, but Elise Hurst and Paige Bradley as well, they have to find some forms from deep to keep a team that just does not have any depth to rely upon in this game offensively.
Well, someone else who is going to have to step up is Zoe Richards in the paint, just without her sidekick, Ashton Prechtel, and you caught up with her moments ago.
Out one of the best players in the league in Ashton Prechtel. So what do the Hoiho need to do to make up for the loss of such a talented player?
Yeah, for sure. A big thing will be our defense. We really got to lock in and D on their key players, and then box out and rebound. You know, she's a huge impact in our rebounding end, and so that's something that we all now need to step up and do.
And the Queens, of course, a very talented side. A lot of players to watch out for. But Chrislyn Carr, fantastic offensively. What can you do to slow down her game and limit her influence?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, our whole team needs to lock in on her. Obviously, Paige will be guarding her. But it'll take the whole team, you know, stepping up, being ready in the gaps, because, you know, she's really got that nice pull-up game. So that'll be huge for us.
I appreciate the time, Zoe. Good luck today.
As we take a look at the starting five for the Tokomanawa Queens, and I'm just going to go straight to the captain case. If they want to be back in the finals like they were last year, Stella Beck's going to have to be big.
Well, she's lifted her scoring this season, but what I value for her as a Queens is her ability as a connector. She's, I think, the best passer on the squad, and at times the Queens can fall into the isolation game, play one-on-one. So she's got to get her other teammates involved along with carrying that bit of a scoring load that she's responsible for.
Well, you caught up with her just before we jumped into this pre-game interview.
Well, Stella, here we are on the precipice of the finals. Here in the Final Four, you're coming up against a wounded animal. No Ashton Prechtel. Hoiho still dangerous. Who are the watch-outs on that squad that you have to keep contained to get the victory today?
Yeah, look, they're still a really good side. They've proven that all season. Zoe Richards has had an amazing season. I think she's definitely someone we're going to look out. Paige Bradley distributes the ball and runs the team really well, and Nat Hurst is a real gun from outside. So those are the three, but the Hoiho are a really good team, so I think we kind of have to cover all our bases.
Of course, the Queens, a pretty good team themselves, but you have had a bit of a rocky road coming here into the finals. What do you need to do? What do you need to clean up on your own side to get the most out of your squad today?
I think, look, defense is really important going into finals. I think we need to do the little things, chase after loose balls, stop teams from getting offensive rebounds, really limit their second chance points. And if we can control the things that we can control, then I think we'll be just fine.
It sounds like a plan. Appreciate the time. Good luck tonight, Stella.
All right, let's take a look at the TAB head-to-head on the season. And one thing that Hoiho needs to pick up is their scoring right there.
Yeah, and how are they going to do it? For me, it's got to be Elise Hurst and Paige Bradley from beyond the arc. They're going to have to find some range. That Carr-Bradley matchup's going to be key. If Carr dominates that one, which it's going to be tough to do because Paige Bradley, she's All-Star 5 as well. It's going to be difficult. Stella Beck and Zoe Richards, those are the Kiwis that are going to have to lead their team. Zoe Richards in particular going to have to find a way. And we talked about the injury to Ashton Prechtel, but Maya Dotson has just been a loss. They picked up Kalani Purcell late. She's been available in limited minutes, so her influence is key, but it's not one of the key factors for this Queen side to get a victory.
Well, speaking of Paige Bradley, All-Star 5, she's 14 points per game, 5 rebounds, but it's the 8 assists. She controls traffic for the squad.
And look at that ability from the free throw line as well, 92% just about. She's so good finding her teammates on the pick and roll, the on ball. At times, I think a little bit too selfish. She needs to get aggressive and carry a huge load scoring-wise today.
Well, someone else who carries a huge scoring load, small in stature, but big everywhere else, All-Star 5 as well, is Kristlyn Carr.
Another 90% shooter from the stripe as well, but 23 points. I don't know if there's a more exciting offensive player in the competition this season. Her ability with the ball in hand is fantastic. She puts immense pressure on the back line of defenses and at the point of attack.
Well, Casey, let's talk about this really, really quickly. Who's going to be joining the Kahu in the grand final tomorrow night? Who you got?
Well, I've loved what I've seen from the Hoiho this season. I love the hustle, I love the heart. But at the end of the day, without Ashton Prechtel, they're just not strong as they were. I expect the Queens to come out and get this victory.
Well, we are moments away from tip-off. We will find out in the next 40 minutes. Justin Nelson, I'm going to throw this one to you.
Very good evening. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, Casey. Kia ora, everyone, and welcome to the Final Four semi-final number 2. Our coin officials for this one, Matt Bathurst, Sharon Martin and Sasha Nicholson. Looking forward to this. It is a big one. The Queens and the Hoiho. The Hoiho about to play their first ever final in the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi. And to witness it all right beside me, fantastic to have her as always. Former Tall Fern, Olympian superstar, and of course, New Zealand's very own WNBA star, Megan Compayne. Good evening.
Kia ora tātou. Good evening, Justin, and good evening to everyone out there watching the Queens. I'm more happy if you're double screening with the Waratahs up the Tars. That's all good, but we are so excited to be here tonight. This game is going to be a great matchup. You said it before, fantastic to see the Hoiho in the finals at taking that 3rd spot after only winning 1 game last year. What a turnaround. But for the Queens, they're going to want to come back to this season. They lost and they dropped 3 to the Hoiho, so they've got something to prove tonight.
There's young Janea Tapuni, 11 years of age, from Fernley Primary School, handing on the ball, and we're just about set to go. It is the Queens on their home deck up against the Hoiho. We're underway, semi-final number 2. Who will join the Kahu? The Queens off to a hot start. Kristlyn Carr.
Oh, you love to see that. When you hit that first open shot, that certainly does look to set the tone for the game. Let's see how they go. They dropped into an early zone.
Queens average 82 points a game here on their home deck. Early shot, deep shot from Gallagher, can't hit it. O'Connell underneath with the second effort. Queens come up with it through Stella Beck.
And I think that's one of the things that the Queens struggle with against the Hoiho in all 3 games is their ability to stop the Hoiho getting those second chance points and stopping that offensive rebound. And look at Kristlyn Carr. Isn't she exciting? 2 for 2 from the field.
Averages 23 points a game, All-Star 5 at Tauihi. Looking to reply, Elise Hurst, the Australian, with her first shot of the game. It's a good one.
And it's a great way for the Hoiho to start. She is a hot talent as well. If she gets firing from behind the arc, she's going to be dangerous.
Definitely one to watch tonight. Tegan Graham with a little bit of space. Can't convert. Hoiho looking to set up. Richards on the slip through, sealing inside now. Jen O'Connell battling with Josie Trusdell. There's Gallagher, fan favourite for the Hoiho. Paige Bradley now, late in the shot clock. Can she make something happen? Steps back, does really well. to free up some space, but the shot clock has expired and the Queens take possession back.
It's a great switch up of defense, just noticing that they've dropped back into a man after a miss, it looks like, and keeping the Hoiho on their toes, and to force an early shot clock violation like that, great defense from the Queens.
Paige Bradley, All-Star 5 as well. Congratulations to her. 8 assists a game. Here's Steph Watts. Onto Stella Beck. Back to Watts. Fires from deep. That one is going to be short. She will get it back in the corner, though, and will get on the attack. Oh, Steph Watts.
Great hustle play by Steph there. The shot didn't fall for her. She followed it up and then made the defensive pay for that offensive rebound, knocking down the 2.
Hot start for the Queens. Paige Bradley looks to respond. Watts with the rebound. Here come the team in black again.
We've kind of looked at Stephanie Watts all season. She looks like she just wants to fire, and it's great to start the game off with a hustle play, but what more can you say about Chrislyn Carr and her start to this game?
Hasn't missed. Chrislyn Carr, 7 points in the game, the star out of Iowa. Here's O'Connell up high. Hurst can shoot, we know that. Pressure. Carr on Richards. Gallagher now, back to Richards. Shot clock at 1. They're going to miss out again, are they? Just gets the shot up. Rebound. Beck on the move. Carr, good target. Into the corner. May have stepped on the sideline. Tegan Graham.
Oh, unfortunate. Great way for them to push up the ball. But again, the Queens showing their defensive prowess. Have obviously been working all week with one specific thing in mind. They know they can score points, but they need to work on the defensive end. They've had a couple of shot clock violations early.
20 points or more 9 times this season, Chrislyn Carr. Hot start tonight. She has 7. Semi-final number 2 underway. GJ Gardner-Holmes, Tauihi Richards. Sweet shot from the short corner.
And it's been awesome seeing Zoe Richards this season. Came up with the Most Improved Player award, and so worthwhile.
Here's Watts. Fires from up high. It's a deep 2.
Nice take off the screen there, saw the opening and took the shot.
Under pressure, corner, big shot, Hurst. Big box out underneath by Tegan Graham. She'll be called for the foul, and I think it's the right call.
Just boxed out and kept boxing, wasn't it? But I love to see it. The Queens knew in the 3 games that they played the Hoiho, they would have been out-rebounded. I don't have the stats in front of me, but there's something that I remember Coach Tanya Tupu talking about, is that they needed to do a much better job on the offensive boards against this Hoiho team.
There's that basket of Steph Watts. Hoiho into attack now. Shot clock down to 8. Paige Bradley will fire away. That one looks off. Battle on the boards. Up they come with it, the Hoiho. And I think a little bit of well, actually the call is going to be to reset the shot clock. So the coin official, Sharon Martin, straight onto that. Brings it back to 9. In fact, it's going to go up 1 to 10. So I think they'll finally get it right, Megan. It's been up and down a few times, but it's now at 10.
Well, you get to reset from the sideline with Samara Gallagher inbounding.
Every second counts, of course. Bradley swamped by Queens. Foul is called on Stella Beck. Interesting stat on rebounds. In their 3 meetings this season, the Hoiho have out-rebounded the Queens 155 to 113. More to the point, offensive rebounds 53 to 26.
That's a difference maker in a game right there, because they're converting a lot of those offensive rebounds into second chance points.
And of course, one player who will have had a lot to do with that is not playing tonight, Ashton Prechtel, the league MVP.
And we talked about that, and it's a real shame. She was such a powerhouse coming into this season. But we could talk about the same for the Queens with the loss of Maya Dodson, with the 2 big 6'5", 6'6" centres battling it out underneath.
And there's Zoe Richards, the player, with a big workload tonight without Ashton Prechtel. Had 30 points and 11 rebounds last week against the Fire. She will figure prominently tonight. Again, this Queens team working hard in a zone. Hurst will fire from deep and adds another triple, 2 for her.
That's 2 for 2 from Shinfront down behind the arc.
She has 6 in the game. Queens loose, turnover.
A nice hustle defense back at the other end and picking up on that ball carrier.
Paige Bradley trying to create for the Southerners. Let's have a look at the GJ Gardner Holmes replay. Paige Bradley into the corner. Great pass to Elise Hurst.
You just saw her absolutely cane it out of the baseline there to get that open shot in the corner.
Pass was a tough one coming in. Paris Lokatui into the game. Running the floor now. That pass a little bit too hot for Lokatui. Stella Beck apologises.
There's a good look up there from Stella. Couldn't control the pass.
Adams into the game. Gallagher now. Back out to Bradley, directing traffic. Queens stay in a zone. Gallagher around Lokatui, pulls up. Shot doesn't drop. Here comes Carr. Fancy footwork, fancy handles. Missed shot. Richards is on the go. Carr will step in front. Picks up the steal, gets on the charge. Wide open. Big shot
Hunter
from the Prince S of Porirua, Grace Hunter.
She was on the mark there. We know that she can knock those down, but look the pace of this game, Justin.
Has been quick. Hurst with another 2. She's got 8.
Well, she's certainly feeling it, and we talked about who was going to step up and take those 20 points that you miss with Ashton out of the game, and Elise Hurst is certainly doing her bit in the first quarter.
Averages 17 a game. Hunter, second look for her was a good one. Unable to put it away. Elise Hurst, by the way, averages just under 11 three-point attempts a game, so she's going to keep shooting. Turnover. Queens come up with it. Hunter, Lokatui inside. One to beat, spins baseline, draws the foul. Paris Lokatui off to the TAB.
And how good has Paris been this season? Coming off of that knee injury last year, took her out of the inaugural season with the Queens. But she has certainly made her presence known on the basketball court this season. And congratulations to Paris as well for being named into the Silver Ferns squad for 2023.
A dual athlete star. Her best game of the season came against the Hoiho, 17 points, 8 rebounds. And she puts the second away from the TAB. Gracie Roberts-Hare into the action for the first time tonight. Hurst will play big minutes. Has been the leading player for the Hoiho so far tonight. Bradley trying to sort through this zone. Richards, time running out. Down to 3. Sideline wins out again as Sophie Adams steps on the black stripe. Queens get it back.
And you got to give it to the Queens and their pressure on the ball zone, really putting the pressure on to keep them wide. You obviously with the lack of the threat of Ashton Prechtel underneath, that zone is working really well for them in the first quarter.
Here's Steph Watts. Lokatui down low. Trousdale unable to kiss it off the glass. And forward comes Hurst again. Bradley finds a gap, flicks it back. Adams had it, lost it. May have tweaked a calf or an ankle there.
Calf, didn't it?
Grabbed for it straight away. Let's have a look at the replay here. It's a nice pass, good setup. And you can see the reaction there. In fact, she reached for her left at first and then ended up on the right. So we'll keep an eye on that for Sophie Adams as she heads to the sidelines. Richards trying to get going here. Does. Great basket, Zoe Richards.
And they needed that. The score evened up at 12 apiece with that lovely inside move by Zoe Richards.
She has 4 points in the game. TAB stat sheet filling up in this first quarter. Zoe Richards battling for the boards there. Chrislyn Carr, rare miss for her in this opening quarter. If you're just joining us, One semi-final down. The Northern Kahu through to tomorrow night's grand final. They took down the Phi, 105-80. Final 2 minutes of this opening quarter. Missed shot, Steph Watts, rebound on the move quickly. Chrislyn Carr has a lot of space, and that's what she does.
Wow, Chrislyn Carr didn't even hesitate. Good heads-up look by Steph Watts, getting it up the court. 3 for 3 behind the arc.
Up to 10 in the game, Chrislyn Carr. Nice move, Mitchell did everything but finish. Again, Watts, Carr chipped in, well done. Elise Hurst picked it off nicely and delivers a big blow for the Hoiho.
She's such an asset, isn't she? She just reminds me of that Australian player that's so smart, so smooth. She's not going to miss that shot. She gets an opportunity.
Well, we saw another Australian dominating the earlier game. Tess Madgen leading the way for the Kahu. Chrislyn Carr is leading the way for the Queens. She has 13.
And I think I caught a little bright smile on the way back. But Chrislyn Carr, wow.
Just a correction, that last one was a deep 2. This one will be a 3 if it falls, and it does. Oh, Chrislyn Carr's got 15. She owns Porirua right now.
I think even Ashley Hurst had to give a little smile on that one. What are you going to do?
What a start tonight by Chrislyn Carr. All-Star 5. Brings the team together. Has had such a big season. In her games against the Hoiho this season, there's just one of her triples. Chrislyn Carr has averaged 20 points. She already has 15.
Making her look effortless. You know that she can knock down the outside shot. What's even more dangerous about it is that she can get to the hole. At 5'3", she can take it to the hole.
Oh, look out. This time, turned away. Paige Bradley knows the pressure that is being applied right now by Carr as she threads a needle. How about the handles?
She's one of those players that you love to watch. I mean, look at this handles, just in the way she thread the needle, the jump through on the on-ball screen. But she just looks like she has so much fun out there, doesn't she?
Shooting at 75%, 15 points in the game. She's shot at over 50% from the field this season. She goes again, there was contact, and it's been picked up. Sharon Martin right there on the spot. No doubt about the contact on the buzzer, and she will head to the TAB for 3. She could finish this opening quarter semi-final. It's a big game. It's a huge game. She could finish this quarter. There's the foul. No doubt about the contact from Paige Bradley. Believe it or not, it could be 18 points. In fact, the coin officials are just going to review this. So, of course, the IRS system is in place for the finals, and they're going to have a look at this.
Well, it's interesting that if we've got another angle on that, which this might be an better angle to see.
Well, there's the foul.
Definitely got a tip on the finger. Whether that's enough to...
I don't think there's any doubt about the contact. I think they're looking at the time on the clock to see how much will still be played after the shot. So there it is right there, and you can see 0.2 as she releases. So I think the clock will return to either 0.1 or 0.2. But Chrislyn Carr will be headed to the TAB for 3 shots.
Just to finish off, one of the most individually dominant quarter of the season.
So review the game time, and we have 1 second left to play after the shot.
Well, there we go. I was saying 0.2, but
I was saying maybe it wasn't a foul. Maybe Paige Bradley was a little bit unfairly pinged there, judging from the angle that I was looking at.
Well, how about this? Queens by 6. They could go up by 9 here. Chrislyn Carr has hit 39 of 43 shots from the line this season. 91% from the TAB. It has been Megan Compain, one of the most complete and impressive quarters of basketball we've seen from an individual this season in Tauihi.
No, it certainly is. Kristlyn Carr, at all of 5'3", she is an absolute dominating player. Just so much fun to watch.
Now, the Hoiho did have their Sky City player timeout available to them. They didn't take it. And at quarter time, Kristlyn Carr has her Queens purring. 23-14 lead. Great start by the team in black. As the teams head in to have a chat, we'll head off to a break. Welcome back. GJ Gardner Homes, Tauihi semi-final number 2. The Kahu are through to tomorrow night's grand final, and the Queens have started exactly how they would have wanted. They lead 23-14. Kristlyn Carr, 18 points in the opening quarter. Elise Hurst has 10 for the Hoiho. Todd Marshall, of course, is the coach of the Hoiho, also coach of the year. First of all, Todd, congratulations on that award. And secondly, Kristlyn Carr, she's a player to stop.
Yeah, she's causing us a lot of problems. We can't let her come off screens and have looks like that. So that's going to be a big focus. We've got to get it out of her hands.
You haven't run up against the Queen's zone at all this season. It looks like the first time that they've played you in a zone. Is this something that you're prepared for?
We did talk about it. They gave us a little look of it one other game when we were up. But yeah, we did talk that there may be a zone involved. We
talk about, I mean, you were up, the team's only up by 9 points with that astounding effort by Kristlyn Carr. So what's the secret for the second quarter?
Got to play better D on Kristlyn and make her lose her rhythm.
Thank you, Coach.
Good on you. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate your time. And again, congratulations on that Coach of the Year award. Thoroughly deserved. Better start for the Hoiho in the opening minute of this second quarter. Richards converts from the TAB. Here's Carr. They try to double. She threads the needle, finds Stella Beck. Gets on the move. Under pressure, off the glass, she finishes it off. She can do it all, Stella Beck.
Oh, Stella Beck, she knows she's going to keep going. She doesn't ever give up, but we talk about back to the Hoiho starting with a great start inside by Zoe Richards. They are going to need to get something going inside, I think, to compete with this Queens team. They're pushing out, not giving much away on the perimeter. They're going to need to get the ball inside and start putting pressure on.
Roberts Hare responded with a basket for the Hoiho. Margin at 7. Watts had it, lost a good hand reaching in there from Hurst. Here comes Bradley through the gap herself. I think the officials may have called 2 shots here. Need to see this again. Here it is, GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. There's the swipe from Graham.
You could say she was going on her way up. She certainly wasn't looking to pass it out to the wing, so probably a very good call there from referee's part. And again, just an opportunity for Paige Bradley to get going and know that she can score. She also averages 8 assists a game.
Second foul for Tegan Graham. First one misses for Paige Bradley. 92% from the stripe this season, so that is a rare miss.
And she'll be wanting to convert as many as she can. And say, commentators curse from both of us there, Justin.
I apologise.
Very unusual.
Happens every time, doesn't it? Here's Graham. Oh, Purcell knew exactly what Kalani Purcell was doing there. Just unable to make that pass stick to Stella Beck. Paige Bradley goes deep on the shot. Carr comes up with it. Looks at her options, flicks it back to Watts. Step back three is as good as you will see.
That's an amazing, lovely move by Steph Watts there. She'll be looking forward to seeing that shot drop early in the second half.
Richards nowhere to go on Beck, hands it off to Connell. Doesn't get the roll. Beck and Purcell, the Tall Ferns and Queens teammates, raffling the rebound there. Rebound count, by the way, in favour of the Queens, 14-11. All the stats with thanks to the TAB. Stella Beck, Graham, shot clock at 4, knocked out of play.
Well, the Hoiho have stepped up their defence in the beginning of this second quarter. Turned the ball, forced a couple of turnovers and putting a lot of pressure on the ball carriers, not giving up those open looks as much as they were in the first quarter.
Beck brings it into the corner. Oh, Steph Watts, way too much space.
As I say that, obviously got a little bit caught off with a corner there, but...
Well, Todd Marshall called a timeout straight away, and in fact, that's why we've got to stop in the game. Samara Gallagher may not like the stop, given she's just nailed a triple.
They asked for a bit of continuation. Leniency there, don't you think?
But that's what the buzzer was for. Todd Marshall was straight up to his feet. Have a look at this. Steph Watts, Hoiho defense napping, and she makes them pay. She moves to 10 in the game. One of her best starts for the season so far. Queens lead by 13. It's been a hot start, hasn't it?
That score did jump up because the Hoiho did come out in the second quarter, excuse me, with a little bit more intensity and fire on the defensive end. But just when you get caught napping like that, and say Steph Watts has started the second quarter where Kristlyn Carr left off in the first, and the Queens finding their range behind the arc.
Just looking at that replay again, because the Coin officials are actually having a look at a replay as well, just to see if the shot got off in time, which quite clearly it did. Here's Matt Bathurst.
Okay, reviews the time, going back to 7:37 on the game clock.
And there you go, also looking at the game clock during this timeout as well. Now, these two teams have met 3 times, of course, during the season, Megan. The Hoiho with all 3 victories. They won by 7 here in Porirua, and then down at home, won by 17 and also by 11. Brooke Rusco pacing the sidelines at the moment. What do you got for us, Brooke?
Yeah, listening to that Hoiho timeout there. Once again, same thing that happened in the first game. There's no timeouts called in the first quarter. They call it quickly in the second quarter, though. Obviously, you have to slow down Carr and Watts. They're busy at the moment. The second thing was, how do we defeat this zone? They're sticking to the zone. It's working. They've gone to a man to start this. They'll probably go back to it. It's get into the seams, attack the seams, ball fakes, and beat the zone like that.
Thanks very much, Brooke. Here's Hurst, turns it over. Queens again, bursting out of that defensive zone with pace. Watts, confident, feeling it tonight on the drive. Shot will be short.
It's good to see her. Yeah, oh. A bit of incidental contact there. Kalani and Zoe, and completely unintentional, but that'll be a foul for the Hoiho on the sideline. But yeah, Stephanie Watts definitely feeling like she's in the rhythm, and great to see her penetrating and working hard. But oh, Samara Gallagher.
10 points, 4 rebounds for Watts tonight. Here's Bradley for 3. Now there's contact off the ball here. That's going to be against Tegan Graham, tangling up with Zoe Richards. I know Tegan Graham's asking the question, but I had a good look at that off the ball. And again, I think the coin officials have got this one right. Graham's got 3 fouls, and she will take a break.
Well, she is a force inside. I think what I like about Tegan is that you know when she's on the court, she certainly doesn't give anything up. Samara Gallagher, unlucky with the same spot that she hit when Coach Todd would have made the timeout request. Unfortunately, that one was nowhere to be found.
Queens winning the second quarter, 8-4 at the moment. Here's Stella Beck, has averaged 18 points a game in her last 4. Good defense, Zoe Richards. Beck comes back. Bradley now. Gallagher wide open. Richards back to Gallagher. Good setup, good build-up. Doesn't end in points, or does it? No, Purcell battling for it with Gallagher. Hands it back to Bradley. That one goes down.
And there's those offensive rebounds again that got the Hoiho up in the last 3 times they've met them. The Queens did an okay job of holding them off in the first quarter, but
can the Queens respond? Hunter wants Carr, the star of the opening 10 minutes, and she continues to star.
I feel like someone's been doing some shooting practice this week. Chrislyn Carr again from downtown.
4 of 5 she is from beyond the arc. Chrislyn Carr shot at 45% from 3-point range in her final year in college. Oh, Grace Hunter, look at that for a drive.
A great drive by Grace Hunter there. She saw the gap, put her head down and finished off.
Margin at 16, midway through the second. Kahu will be watching on. Will it be a repeat of last year's inaugural grand final? Richards, Beck, physical, tough stuff. Who's going to come up with it here? It'll be the Hoiho.
Well, I think if anything, they probably deserve to come up with that. There was a lot of physicality under the hoop just there that Coach Todd was up and questioning it with the referees, always sort of shaking her head but shaking it off, and they'll go again.
Shot clock at 7. Richards got to get busy. 2, 1. They're going to miss out here. Another turnover for the Hoiho, and again, this zone that the Queens have brought out tonight is absolutely on point.
It certainly is. I've obviously been looking at a lot of game tape, seeing what they have to improve on with 3 losses against this team. Now, we're saying that with respect to one big obvious omission from this team with Ashton Prechtel, but this is a new firing Queens team against this Hoiho.
Yeah, no doubt she's a significant loss, and there's another turnover from the Hoiho. That is their 12th of the game. There is Ashton Prechtel watching on. Had a chat with her before the game, and obviously very disappointed that she can't be out there with her teammates. Here's the turnover.
I think we all talked about that when we were all disappointed, aren't we? Because obviously it's a massive loss to the Hoiho team this year, coming from the bottom of the table last year to make such an improvement and make this playoff, and doing it with a player like Ashton, who makes everyone around her better as well. Just such a talent for anyone that's interested in basketball and getting into basketball and watching basketball. To have someone like that playing in our league is just fantastic.
Well, just to emphasise the point as well, Megan, in those 3 games against the Queens, Ashton Prechtel averaged 22 points and 14 rebounds a game. Mitchell turns it back. Hoiho need to get busy here to close out this half. Great person to do it is Elise Hurst.
It's the one you want to find when she's open. She's going to knock that down. So it's good ball movement on that time by the Hoiho.
And what we know about the Southerners is they will not go away. Margin at 13. Hunter. Shot clock at 8. Carr. finds a gap, sends it back. Lokatui under pressure now. Chrislyn Carr won't keep that in. And off the back of a good basket from Elise Hurst, the Hoiho come up with some great defense of their own.
They certainly did, and they've done that now 3 times in this quarter. Put the pressure on the Queens, getting them a bit rattled, where they go into that one-on-one isolation play at the end of the shot clock. So good work by the Hoiho.
And that's probably why we've got a Queens timeout right now. Tanya Tupu, championship winning coach, brings her team together. 3:44 left in this opening half. Queens out by 13. Let's head down and have a listen in.
Okay? You should have just stayed, and then you push everyone else up and you get the beat to come up. Okay? But everyone, it happened in the first quarter, so we just need to just make that adjustment, but aware you're gonna have to go out. If it's hers, you don't want to leave hers in the corner. Okay? Give up, let the nobodies get the reversal.
If you're closing out to the side, close out on the low side and try and get a hand to stop this pass.
Yeah.
It might give us just enough time to get out.
Okay? We need to get better spread when you're setting up on your breakers and that. Make sure you've got better spacing, okay? All right?
Here you go, keep the pressure.
Better spacing.
Keep the pressure. Quiz on 3, 1, 2, 3.
They're second.
Great to listen in to Coach Tupu. Wonder what the Hoiho have been talking about. Let's find out now from Brooke Roscoe.
Timeout right there. It sounded like they finally found out what they were trying to do with the zone. They managed to get it to the elbow, swing, and then found Hurst in the corner. It's the best position that they've had in the game against the zone. They think that the Queens will come out in a man-to-man, although it looks like they go straight into their zone. But they feel like they finally found the recipe.
Thanks, Brooke. Big day and night coming up tomorrow here in Porirua. Playoff for third, 3:30 p.m. live on Sky. Watts on the move. Carr will have to bring it back out. Then, of course, tomorrow night's grand final from 6 p.m. live and free across the country on Sky Open. Hope you can join us for that. The Kahu have already booked their ticket.
Certainly have, and we talk about who's going to be meeting them in the grand final, 6:30 tomorrow night at Rauparaha. Will it be the Queens or will it be the Southerners for their first trip to the playoffs?
Trusdell, shot clock at 4. Chrislyn Carr has to do something special. And she is a magician. Block. Well done, Gallagher. Solid defense from the Hoiho. Can they respond offensively? Or Paige Bradley had it and lost it. Gallagher, great pass to Hurst. Watts defensively may have got a hand on it, a fingertip, she did.
But much better ball movement by the Hoiho, almost spurred on by the defensive stop. When they're playing that solid defense, putting the Queens under pressure, running the shot clock out, they're getting some good transition basketball and with the ball movement.
There's Josie Trusdell. Solid move from the tall fern. She'll head to the TAB. Had a good season, Josie Trusdell.
Does she? Good hand on the ball there by Steph Watts. But Josie Trusdell, one of the unsung heroes from the Queens team and the Tauihi League. She's so effective when she's on the court, particularly at the defensive end. She has a hand on everything.
Both go down for Josie Trusdell from the TAB. And the Queens lead by 15. I actually ran into Josie's parents at Wellington Airport the other day. Love their basketball, love their Queens. I'll tell you what, the Hoiho love what Paige Bradley just did. Timely three-pointer from her.
Certainly did. A good time for her to open up the basket.
Watts loves to step back. That one's going to come up short as Lokatui and Stella Beck just ran straight into each other.
I couldn't see over top of the monitor, and I saw Stella go flying from her own teammate.
I'm glad they both got up grinning. 2 minutes to play in this opening half.
That's an injury you do not want to see.
Hurst has 13. Oh, that one was halfway down. She'll have to do the work from the stripe now, but she has been impressive for the Hoiho in this opening half. Look at that. That one was almost there. Camera operator down there. is on danger money this evening. First one goes down.
I must say, I'm loving the shoes.
Oh, there has been some great work across this competition when it comes to the kicks.
I was just sitting across the way for the Kahu and the Whai game, explaining to a couple of rugby executives of who are here to watch the game, or ex-rugby executives, I should say, of what do you choose? What's the first thing you choose in a shoe? The first thing you choose in a shoe is if it's fly. It's got to have the right colours.
Lots of colours out there tonight. Through hands, it ends up with Watts. Shot clock at 3. Carr again under pressure to do something magical here. Won't get it off in time. That won't count. Didn't go down anyway.
Again, great defensive effort from the Hoiho. They've done this now 5 or 6 times in this quarter. They've put the pressure on the Queens not to get that first early good look off, and then putting them under a lot of pressure and running the shot clock down.
Well, to be fair to Crystal Carr, I'm not sure that any player likes to be given the ball when there's 2 seconds left.
Not when you've got 2 players hanging off you either.
Big triple. Tyler Mitchell comes up with a key basket for the Hoiho and an offensive foul now against the Queens. That's against Paris Lokatui. We're back to 7.
What a turn around. Great look for the outside. We talk about the breaking the zone right there, penetrating in and drawing that top defender down, leaving the guard at the top wide open. They've knocked down 2 from exactly the same position, so they certainly have looked at starting to pick some holes in that Queens zone defense.
Foul count in the opening half, 12 against the Queens, 4 against the Hoiho. They're into attack. Hurst turns, shoots, and again not far away. 15 in the game tonight.
That could have been a turning point basket.
This is going to come back. It'll be a Queens ball as Crystal Carr picks herself up. Tyler Mitchell with the foul. Todd Marshall is out of his seat. Here's the GJ Gardner Homes replay. Good hand from Gallagher.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Tough call, that one. I think there was a little bit of contact, but one of those ones where you get your hand clean on the ball. But again, like they're not shying away from making sure they're getting up on Crystal Carr, not letting her get into that groove when she crosses the court.
Inside the last minute of this opening half, semi-final action.
Wow.
Great pass, Purcell Beck.
And that's what she's been brought here to do. I have to give it to her. I am in absolute awe of someone of her caliber that can come back 3 months after having a baby and be on the court running around with these women and being as effective as she is.
Carr receives. Can't finish. Truesdell reaching over the top, knocks it down. The Hoiho will settle. They've had a good passage in the last few minutes. Margin back to 9. Shot clock a second inside the game clock. Queens remain in a zone. Richards has been kept pretty quiet. Hurst catches, shoots over Purcell. Oh, Elise Hurst.
Wow, that's a way to end a quarter with the Hoiho finding the right player behind the arc, shoots 3, cuts that lead to 6 going into the second half.
And she has 18. The girl from Bendigo, Victoria, Elise Hurst. Played with the Oregon Ducks. Played WNBL basketball in Australia with the Bendigo Spirit as a 17-year-old. And she comes up with a key basket as the buzzer sounds for halftime. The Queens lead by 6. A big fight back in that second quarter late by the Southerners. Elise Hurst was all over it, and here she is with Brooke Roscoe.
Yeah, here with Elise Hurst. You guys struggled with that zone, but it looked like you worked it out late in the second.
Yeah, it just took us a minute to get a bit of a flow. I mean, we just wanted to work on defense, and that really made our offense work, so we just got to keep doing that.
Speaking of that defense, Crystal Carr went off. She had 21 in the first. What coverages might she see in the second half?
I mean, we got to keep switching up and making it hard for her. Basically, get the ball out of her hands. That's their offense right there, so.
Hey, good luck in the second half.
Okay.
Go right now.
Man, it looks great. I think we're playing really good defense. I think the second quarter we got a little sloppy on defense with the rotations, but we're going to come out at halftime and do better. Yeah, you're spot on. If you're nitpicking at this point, offensive rebounds are the one thing that's really killing you guys and keeping them in the game right now. We definitely got to, on defense, box out. I think that's killing us also. But on offense, when we're shooting, we definitely have to crash also. But I think our shots are going to fall way better in the second half, so we're going to be good. Oh, you being straight. Good luck in the second. Thank you so much.
Well, the two stars of that opening half. Carr has 21, Hurst has 18. The Queens lead by 6. TAB stats on the other side of this break. Don't go away.
At least Hurst, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hurst first, though, eh? Or Carr first? Carr first? Okay, sweet. Did Dilly go over to the... Oh, they have to, do they? Oh, I bet he was. Being asked right now? Plus one? Hey, fuck me, I'll do the same thing. Yeah, I'll do the same shit. I'll be like, yeah. Come on, man, we going. Welcome back to semi-final number 2 of the GJ Gardner Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa competition as we take a look into the Tokomanawa Queens locker room here at halftime as they take a 6-point lead over the Southern Hoiho, who at the moment must be thinking, hey, we're still in this fight.
Yeah, it's absolutely. At times it looked like it was going to get away from them, but a really strong finish, especially in that last 2 minutes, has them within striking distance, and they should be sitting there at halftime confident in their ability to keep it close.
Well, one reason that it did blow out a little bit is when Crystalline Carr, she got busy from the jump. She could not miss. That 3-ball was firing on all cylinders.
She is a tough cover. She is such an excellent penetrator, but if she's going to be shooting the ball like that, just forget about it. I mean, there is no chance to stay in front of a player of that caliber who's able to hit the pull-up. If you're guarding that, she's going to find so much space because there is no one in this league that is faster than she is.
She is quick, and she is good with the dribble as well. And she had the first 4 points, so you kind of knew that she was going to be okay in this ball game. They have to slow her down in the second half if the Hoiho want to have a chance. Another way that the Hoiho have a chance is if Hurst keeps it going. 18 points. She picked apart that zone in the last 2 minutes as well.
The last 2 minutes was huge. Had 5 points, upper 18 in those last 2 minutes when the Hoiho went on that 8-2 run to close things out, to make it respectable and give themselves a chance in the second half. To me, it's all about the tray ball for the Hoiho. If they're able to get Elise Hurst and Paige Bradley a little bit of space and they can start hitting from deep, they got a chance. But if the Queens are able to take away those looks with a little bit more consistency in the second half, it's going to be very difficult for this Hoiho squad to keep it close.
Well, as we take a look at the stats here at halftime of semi-final number 2, even without Ashton Prechtel, she is huge on the offensive boards. The Hoiho are still dominating that position as well.
It's not just Ashton Prechtel's size and skill that got them rebounds. It's their attitude, it's their mindset, and Zoe Richards is the epitome of that. She is attacking the glass on both ends, making herself a nuisance at all times, very difficult to box out, and it is paying dividends.
Well, we are very, very close to kick-starting the second half of the second semi-final here in Porirua. The question is, who's going to be joining the Kahu in tomorrow night's grand final? We'll be back right after this.
Welcome back. Halftime here in Porirua, semi-final number 2. Kahu are through to tomorrow night's grand final. They took down the Phi earlier, 105-80. Very, very impressive. Justin Nelson, Megan Compain with you. Queen T is in the house tonight. And importantly, in that second quarter, the last 5 minutes, the Hoiho, Megan, went on a 14-4 run.
And behind the absolute sharp shooting from Elise Hurst, she was in the right place at the right time. The team started to find the gaps and started to break down the zone, which obviously has been a challenge in that first quarter. So it'd be interesting to see what the Queens do here to change that up or to adjust, because the Hoiho are starting to find those gaps. But we talked about it, and Brooke talked about it at halftime as well. The big glaring stat that the Queens will have to watch out for is those offensive rebounds.
No doubt about that. It's an area where they have dominated against the Queens so far this season, quite comprehensively, I might add. And they're doing so again tonight, a 9-2 lead in that stat category. Waiting for the Hoiho to join us on court. Elise Hurst, I mentioned earlier that she averages just over 10.5 three-point attempts per game. Tonight, 4 of 10 from downtown, so the volume of shots is definitely there.
It's there, and it's also on. 40% from behind the arc is a very good shooting percentage, so she'll be looking to get some early open looks early on in this third quarter, and that will get the Hoiho in the game as we keep going.
Queens get us started. Chrislyn Carr probably needs another scorer to go with her tonight. Stella Beck, Tegan Graham can hit a 3. That's a great start for the Queens.
What a great start. You just talked about that. There does need to be another couple of players. If it's Stella Beck, is it Gracie Hunter to step up for that scoring, and Tegan Graham knocking down a 3 like we know she can.
Hurst gets Watts off balance, and look at that. Shot for shot, blow for blow.
Just negate that completely, and we're back to square one as we started this third quarter.
5 of 11 now from beyond the arc for Elise Hurst. Trosdell may be getting in the way there of Carr. With Watts now, 10 in the game. Shot clock at 3. Again, Carr gets it late, gives it up. Watts has to go. Got the shot in time. And it wasn't too far away.
Oh, it wasn't. It was an in and out, which that rim has been doing a bit for the Hoiho in the first half.
Mitchell, nice. Got all the way to the basket. Came off the hand of Chrislyn Carr on the rebound, so the Hoiho get it back.
With Zoe Richards crashing the boards once again, just putting that pressure on. The shot goes up, giving that second chance opportunity for the Hoiho to score here.
Just 6 points in the first half for Richards. She'll look to get going in the second half here. Hurst, she's already got going. Wow, has she got going tonight? Elise Hurst, her 6th triple. She's got 24.
Wow, 24 at the beginning of the third quarter as the Chrislyn Carr, Elise Hurst. There she goes, back to back. These two are having an epic battle. We talk about the level of competition, the level of talent in this Tauihi League 2023 is on display right here tonight.
Well, this is a 12-round classic at the moment between Carr and Hurst. Paige Bradley with the basket and the bonus to come from the TAB. This game has tightened right up. Biggest lead of the night for the Queens was, and I emphasise the word was, 16 points.
Down to 3 with the potential of it knocking down to 1 with a 92% foul shooter on the line. And that's 0 for 3 for Paige Bradley tonight.
Quite remarkable. Here's Watts on the drive, draws the foul. And Steph Watts, for me, this season, Megan, we know she can shoot from range. When she's driving the basket, she looks to be at her best.
There's no one quicker in the league, I don't think, off a dead stop. And it's very difficult to guard that when you've got that quickness of that first step going to the hole.
The highest WNBA drafted player in Tauihi this season, draft pick number 10 to the LA Sparks. First one misses, second one is good. She has 11 in the game. Carr has 23. Next best Queen on 4 points is Stella Beck.
And that is something that we talked about will need to be addressed for the Queens to keep in this game, particularly as the Hoiho, Paige Bradley, getting firing in the third quarter. She's started the second half with only 5 points, and she's almost doubled that now.
Yeah, up to 9. Second highest scorer for the Hoiho. Tegan Graham nearly got the roll. Battle on the boards. And again, the Southerners come up with it on the charge. They're down by 2. They could take the lead here. Hurst. Now, did it come off a hand? Any fingertips in there? Certainly the Hoiho are claiming it did. And the officials agree. Let's have a good look at it here. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Ooh, did Stella Beck get a fingertip on that? I'm not so sure.
You would think she would have, considering that shot ended up being so short.
What's your decision at home? Watts on the move. Again, that burst of speed. Hands it back to Stella Beck. Searching again. Trousdale just getting in the way.
I wasn't going to say anything, Justin. But she's almost creating that second screen. 6th defensive player for the Hoiho on the last couple of times down the court, but good defense again by the Hoiho. This is where they see that their game picking up, is it at the defensive end, creating that pressure, putting the Queens under pressure, creating shots in the last 2 seconds of the shot clock. Tegan Graham making it count. Oh, you love her when she gets firing. She has got so much energy. With 2 seconds to go on the shot clock. Finishes it off on the line, knocking down, hopefully, a 3-point play for the Queens.
Well, she literally just came in and stood underneath Zoe Richards there. Got the crowd on their feet in a major way. Tegan Graham, 6 in the game now. Important points for the Queens, just as the Hoiho were making their run. Paige Bradley turns the corner. Nowhere to go. Trapped. Back to Mitchell. Steps around Beck. Runs into Graham. Loose ball. Look who comes up with it. Elise Hurst. Big offensive rebound. Tyler Mitchell.
And again, on the boards, the Hoiho are absolutely relentless. Another turnover at half court. Paige Bradley with the ball in her hand. She's going to take it.
And gets it back. 13 offensive rebounds to 2, and they've punished the Queens off that. Samara Gallagher.
And that's the risk of that offensive rebound. It gets that chance for those second chance points. That was a 5-point turnaround between the turnover and the 3-pointer.
Tied up, 49 apiece. Watts looks to respond. Full head of steam right now. The Southern Hoiho on the march. Bradley. Gallagher inside, steps back, nowhere to go. Look out, Tyler Mitchell, yes! Oh, this team is on fire. Timeout, Queens. They've seen enough. What a response tonight by the Southern Hoiho.
And isn't that something, when you're feeling it, when the team's on the run, when you got a little bit of that momentum, everything just seems to be going your way. A 7-point turnaround. The Hoiho take the lead for the first time in the game and looking like they're enjoying themselves out there.
But what you have to do is we've got to get some fucking rebounds, okay? Okay? Stay attached to your man, okay? You need to step up. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, right? Let's go. We're all right. Grind it back. Grind it back. Here we go. Hey, defense out there. What's your defense?
Well, a few home truths there from Tanya Tupu, the tall fern, the Olympian, the championship coach of 2022. All of a sudden, after being 16 up, the reigning champs are under some serious pressure right now.
The third quarter has belonged to the Hoiho, and they have made the adjustments on the defensive end, putting the Queens under pressure, converting at the offensive end. But I have to say, it's coming back to those offensive rebounds. So the Queens will have to figure out a way to get bodies on people and get those rebounds, and don't let them get those second chance points.
Carr, 18 in the first quarter, has 23 for the game. She's been well held since quarter time. Coach Tupu telling her to stop feeling sorry for herself. Stella Beck the captain responds.
She certainly does. Stella knows when to step up, when to respond, and she certainly will be a threat when her back's up against the wall.
Locked up, 52 apiece. Hurst trailing her. Carr. Hunter into the game now, defensively on Bradley, the two number 4s on the switch. Beck has to defend now. Hurst, baseline, gets inside 2, misses, an absolute bunny in the end. We settle again. Carr, Graham, wide open, three-pointer, short. Battling after it, Hunter keeps it alive, nice tap. Shot clock resets.
Nice hustle from Gracie Hunter and an offensive rebound going back the other way. Kristen Carr, first look of the third quarter, nails down a deep 3. That's exactly what Tanya Tupu will be wanting to see from her point guard.
And you can mark that down to Grace Hunter's effort. That's what offensive rebounds deliver. They've only had 3 for the game. Hoiho have had 13. Zoe Richards, strong stuff.
Great positioning underneath by Zoe Richards, knew exactly where she was, straight up for the 2.
Carr, deep 2, pulls up. One-point ball game. How often do we see a semi-final with a big margin and a semi-final that goes down to the wire? Looks that way tonight. Paige Bradley handing it off.
And that's what she does so well, doesn't she? Averaging 8 assists a game when the Queens themselves as a team are averaging only 12.
Mitchell with the points. Hunter on the reverse, draws the foul. Clever stuff from the local.
Grace Hunter had a great inaugural season last year. Hasn't had as many minutes on this Queens roster, on this Queens team, but when she's on the court, she is a difference maker. She can hit the 3, she's got a quick first step, and she's got good presence with the ball.
Was named in the All-Star 5 of the Sky Broadband Rapid League this season. Missed the first at the TAB. Second one's good. Ties it back up, 56 apiece. Third quarter action tonight. GJ Gardner-Holmes, Tauihi. A spot in the grand final tomorrow night up for grabs. Join us at 6 p.m. live and free across the country on Sky Open. Who's going to make it? Well, the Hoiho have made their presence felt in this third quarter.
They certainly had that inside-out play. They've had a really good success with their back-to-the-basket plays just in the last couple down the court.
And Tyler Mitchell getting busy, the youngster. Hunter draws another foul. 2-point margin, 58-56.
That also puts the Hoiho on 4 team fouls, which will be interesting to see how that works out coming down the line. Every foul from here on out will put the Queens on the stripe.
It's going to be a baseline ball. Was an initial thought that it may be shots. Truesdell, too much on it in the end. Whose hand does it come off? Zoe Richards with the last touch.
Hoiho coach Todd was adamant it was the other way, but you've got to give it a go, don't you?
Looking at Ashton Prechtel there in the distance on the sidelines. No doubt disappointed not to be out there. Chrislyn Carr's got a lot of space here, and that is way too much space for her. 29 in the game for Chrislyn Carr.
29 for the game, with hitting it deep from behind the 3, getting going to get the Queens on the board.
Has a season high 34. Loose ball, picked up by Beck. They're on the move again, the Queens, leading by 1 now. Back in the hands of Carr, she fires again. That one just short, front of the iron. Some pressure there from Truesdell on Richards. Having a conversation about the Molten. I think she wants it wiped, and she's going to get her own way here.
We had a little bit of a test of the Molten before the opening game, didn't we? It was a little bouncy for our liking, but...
Should we tell our viewers that you and I had a shoot-around and I won?
No, I wasn't here. I didn't get invited to the shoot-around. Justin, there may be a few things that you're better at than me, but I will guarantee you I'll beat you in a shoot-around.
I'll guarantee it as well. Elise Hurst. Richards to Roberts Hare. Great setup, Hoiho, Paige Bradley.
Wow. And hasn't she come alive in the second half? We know that she can score. She had a very, very quiet first half. The Hoiho will be liking what they're seeing out of Paige Bradley in the third quarter.
Love the ball movement in this third quarter from the Hoiho. Hunter goes on Roberts Hare and scores on Roberts Hare.
Great, stay with it, cross it over, under pressure, hits the two.
Under 90 seconds to play. Tyler Mitchell has had some sort of a quarter. High shot, looping arc. Beck receives from Carr, goes to work inside, off the glass, good to go, off to the TAB.
And that's what Stella Beck does so well. She's got such great presence of mind under the basket. Kristen Sawyer running down the court. I actually thought that they might be a bit puffed or gassed from here, but then she just suddenly turned the corner, got the two with the foul, goes to the TAB.
Carr taking a break, no doubt. Recharging the batteries for the last quarter tonight. Stella Beck only played once this season against the Hoiho. And importantly for the Queens, in her last 4 games has averaged 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists and 2.5 steals a game. So she is in form as she converts for the bonus at the TAB. Hoiho, can they respond now? Down by 3. Bradley in fine touch at the moment. Hurst got back off the floor. Covered by Hunter, turns it over. Straight to Stella Beck, all the way to the hoop. Adds 2, crowd on their feet.
And there's the Queens defense. If both teams, when they've got on a run, they've turned themselves around by the effort they're putting into the defensive end. Great steal by Stella, great pressure on the ball. Down the other end for the easy 2. And now the frustration starts to set in by the Hoiho.
Kalani Purcell, strong rebound. Gee, the Queens bench are making some noise up and about at the moment.
They certainly are. I think this whole stadium is making some noise, and I haven't actually talked about the fact that we are in Porirua, we are at Rauparaha, we are in Queens' hometown, and you see how much this crowd will be getting the Queens team up in this as we get into the last quarter of the game.
Well, usually the most popular person in Porirua is our very own Brooke Rusco. But when Grace Hunter's in town, he takes a back seat. Misses at the TAB for the Queen.
Are we sitting near the Prince of Porirua, are we?
I'd like to think he was the Prince.
Jordan Natai might have something to say about that too, right?
Roberts Hare, dying seconds of this third quarter. It's a battle, as a semi-final should be. Paige Bradley. Will it go?
It's in. Paige Bradley got the roll. Absolute killer. In the dying seconds.
Beck
the third
launches.
quarter.
That won't go down. And that'll do us. What a third quarter of action tonight. This is what finals stuff is about. And we are set for a huge final 10 minutes. It's the Queens by 3. We do have a review at the moment, I believe. So we'll just stay here for a moment to see if the coin officials will be taking a look at that final shot. What a quarter from the Hoiho. And we have an absolute ripper on our hands tonight. Let's have a look here. This is the shot from Paige Bradley, and as we can see there, it's a clear 2-pointer. And we'll get confirmation from the coin officials.
3, was it?
Yep.
Initially, okay.
Confirmation coming here. Here's Matt Bathurst.
Okay, review the last shot. It is 2 points.
So there you go. Scoreboard will be corrected. We'll talk more about that on the other side of the break. Don't go away. We are in for a big, big finish in Porirua tonight. Welcome back to Porirua. Last quarter to come, 3-point margin. Queen's coach Tauihi Tupu good enough to join us. And Coach Tupu, this game has tightened it right up. What do you need to do well down the stretch here to get the win?
Oh, they got really hot. They had 5 threes on us, so we need to know who the hot shooters are and stick to our defensive plan. We need to be a little bit more disruptive.
There's a few turnovers there that are probably hurting you right now. But what did you say to the team at the quarter time?
I think we were all right with turnovers. I think we only had 1. I think it's just our offensive execution. We just got a bit stale there. So, you know, we need to get some energy off our D and then drive and get a little bit more of this like transo going. You know, that's where we look best at.
Well, good luck for the next quarter, Coach.
Thank you to Coach Tupu. Both teams have opened up with a basket. Queens lead by 2. Exciting stuff. Gallagher from the corner.
And Coach Tanya just made that point around the offense that is being generated off good defensive transition. Putting the other team under pressure and getting those transition offensive opportunities and converting them has been working really well for them.
Steph Watts actually made that look easy in the end. That was a tough basket. Richards responds. We should mention Coach Tupu as well. Been a really tough week for the Tupu family. Certainly our thoughts are with them, with Lani Tupu in hospital at the moment. Steph Watts, back of the iron. Queens get it back. Nervous times for Queens and Hoiho fans. Lokatui on the rebound. Strong stuff.
She did come in and a couple of those offensive rebound opportunities coming up the Queens way, which they haven't had a lot of looking from that, and drawing the foul on Zoe Richards. Talk about Zoe was down the other end of the court, hit that nice little turnaround mid-range jumper. She's been held quite quiet on the scoring end by the Queens, who've done a really good job of minimising her impact in the paint.
TAB stats tonight. Chrislyn Carr leading the way for the Queens with 31 points. Watts has 13. Beck has 12. For the Hoiho, Elise Hurst 24. Paige Bradley 17. Tyler Mitchell, what a cameo from her tonight. 12 points in the game. Stella Beck turning the corner, running into Jen O'Connell. Maybe bailed out there. O'Connell called for the foul. Didn't look like there was too much wrong with that. Let's have a look again. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay around the first. Oh, just reaching in. Good call.
I think it might have been a little bit of a continuation as well from the hip check that she got from Samara Gallagher on the way through.
Well, they've got it back here, the Hoiho, off that inbound. How about the Kahu? They'd be back in the hotel now, feet up, watching on. Defeated the Fire by 25. Made the grand final last season. Couldn't go all the way. Fell to the Queens.
That was one incredible final there for the inaugural season of Tauihi, and be really interesting to see if we'll get a matchup of the same 2 teams, or the Hoiho will make an appearance in the final. We've got just over 7 minutes to find out, Justin, and I am literally on the edge of my seat.
Well, we all are. Stella Beck running into a lot of blue singlets and finishing just as the captain has done many times before.
How many times have we seen Stella with that sneaky little reverse layup?
Richards deep 2.
She must have heard us. She's a bit quiet on the scoring front. Opened up the fourth quarter with 4 points.
Just remember, the Queens have not beaten the Hoiho this season. No Ashton Prechtel, though. And again, Queens forwards getting in the way of guards. Oh, turning the corner. Look at that. Stella Beck just can't get it to go. Carr had it, lost it. Here come the Hoiho. Down by 2. Can lead. Elise Hurst. No, doesn't get it to drop. Now we've got Chrislyn Carr down behind play here. So that's happened off that last attempt. Watch this. Here it is. Goes after the ball and has clutched a leg there. So it is. It's her left calf. You can see the pain there for Chrislyn Carr. And she has barely moved. So this is not a good sign for the Queens.
worried looks on the Queen's coaching staff faces, as there would be for anyone in the stadium right now watching that. You don't like to see that out of from any team, from any player. Certainly not when it's come down to final quarter of the semi-final with a player who's just played so well. Let's hope it's a cramp, but I tell you what, Justin, a cramp or something more serious, it may still mean Chrislynn's.
I'll tell you what she has got time for right now.
That means it's a cramp.
And that's a banana, so...
Get that potassium in.
She's actually looking quite relaxed there.
But the way she was clutching her calf muscle and head down, I thought it might have been a bit more serious, like a tear.
Well, of course, the next 6:56 is going to tell us who goes through to tomorrow night's grand final. Before that, we'll have the playoff for third at 3:30 p.m. That game live on Sky. The Fi will take on the loser of this game. And, of course, the winner tonight goes through to the grand final. Kahu sitting and waiting. Will it be the Queens or will it be the Hoiho, as Chrislyn Carr actually being carried off? So it's a serious sort of a cramp.
Wow, the worst kinds of cramps can be just as serious at the time as a torn muscle. There's nothing that you can do, particularly with a calf, because you're always on your toes, you're always running. Someone like Chrislyn Carr on the top of it, just running on her toes, she won't be able to do much.
Well, will this inspire her teammates? 31 points tonight for Chrislyn Carr. She is the star of this Queens team. Out of the game. Will she be back? Hoiho, big opportunity here now. Richards, nowhere to go. Good defense. Paige Bradley can't hit a three. Whose hands that come off? Steph Watts,
and
the last
again, the
to touch
Hoiho
it.
crashing the boards and forcing that Queens to touch it, and then they got the ball under the basket again. So another opportunity for the Hoiho off a missed shot.
Hurst has been exceptional. Stepping around, draws the foul off the glass. And this team is on the verge. They can smell victory tonight.
Wow, this Elise Hurst, the game that she has had tonight, going up against Steph Watts, taking her time, hitting the shot. Converting the three-point play, no, not quite. So the score is still tied up at 72 apiece.
Well, Chrislyn Carr off injured at the moment. Brooke Rusco may have an update for us. Brooke.
It's just cramp. Pickle juice is going to be a must right here as we see the three ball go up and the three ball go down. But there's a lot of people around Chrislyn Carr at the moment. She's up, she's stretching, but it doesn't look good. You get those cramps where they pull up on everything, and you see another three ball up and another three ball good.
Back-to-back threes. And we're still tied up, but as you say, like a cramp can be just as bad at the time as something more serious. So we may have seen the last of Chrislyn Carr tonight.
Well, Brooke Rusco may be the magic man. We go and have a chat with him for 30 seconds, and we see two massive three-pointers. Each end of the floor, 6:04 to play, tied up at 75. There is Carr getting some attention. The Queens will be desperate to get their point guard back on the floor. Trousdale, first one, bounces in and out at the TAB now. Puts the second one down, Queens by one.
Well, this game could not be more close if you wanted it to. Judging by the way the Queens came out in the first quarter, the Hoiho fought back. Second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, could be anyone's game.
Mitchell, that shot looks long, it is. Trousdale battling for it, swarmed by the Hoiho. Beck now, she is the key to this Queens team. Stella Beck.
And one, Stella Beck getting the crowd off their feet.
Well, with Carr sitting, Stella Beck is the one to watch. Although, having said that, guess who's just stepped back onto the court?
To another standing ovation by this largely Queens crowd here in the background. Kristlyn Carr's back on the court.
Beck converts at the TAB. She's got 17 points to go with her 7 rebounds. Advantage Queens. Gallagher. Bradley. Baseline. Searching. Finds Hurst. Look out. That one off to the right. And the Queens will get possession back. They're up by 4.
Good defensive pressure by the Queens there. Paige Bradley loves that little show and go, doesn't she, from the 3? You know she can shoot it, so you got to get out on her. But she has a great job of driving to the basket, just not quite anyone there in the right position to dish off.
20 points for Paige Bradley. Trosdell. Fantastic dish from Stella Beck. Todd Marshall wants to chat. Queens all of a sudden on a mini run here. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Watch the pass from Stella Beck. Watch the finish from Josie Trosdell.
Under pressure with Zoe Richards right on her, but Stella Beck, you know what? I mean, Kristlyn Carr, she's hurt. She's got a sore cup. They've got it bandaged up quite tightly. I like Stella Beck at point. I think it gives them a different look. If Kristlyn Carr's on the court, it takes a little bit of pressure off her.
Remember? Got ducks that are coming off that. Well, setting the screen. Okay, good. Duck, okay. Coming through, setting that for that flare screen, okay? Next time down. Same side as, yeah.
So plenty of voices in that timeout for the Southern Hoiho. Everybody having something to say as they try and work out what they're going to do. Brooke Roscoe has been busy with the Queens. What have you got for us, Brooke?
Yeah, Stella Beck's had her fingers all over this fourth quarter as well. Just when they needed a big buckets, found the assist on that last one too. Now on the defensive end, this Hoiho team has struggled all year long from deep and they're shooting at 40%. So do you roll the dice? What do you do? They're going to sit in the zone while Carr continues to rub that calf into her talking. She can't move it at all. But she's going to try and fight through these last 5 minutes.
Stella Beck, speaking of those fingerprints, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals for the Queens skipper tonight. Zoe Richards turns the corner, goes back to her left. Too easy. Great basket
by Zoe Richards. And talk about one of the Tall Fern veterans coming alive in the fourth quarter. She is keeping her team within striking distance.
Just the response the Hoiho would have wanted. Carr brings it out to Beck, who now clearly is running the show. Trosdell, corner. Graham gives it up. Late in the shot clock, down to 3. Beck's got to go. Does go. Floats it in.
Oh, good heads-up play on that shot clock as it was winding down to nothing. Stella Beck making something out of nothing and getting the 2 points.
Long way to go in the game. 4 minutes still to play. Bradley. Gallagher now. Back to the point guard. Uses Richards up high. Left it behind. Swooping on it. Carr. Graham. A lot of steps. Big block. No, it's a foul against Bradley.
Oh. Big T is just taking stock there. Lovely pass from Kristlyn Carr. Big defensive play there from Paige Bradley. Might have been a little bit of contact, but good effort to get back down the end of the court, get 2 hands on that ball.
So now Tegan Graham at the TAB as this very loud crowd tonight is quieting down. First one misses.
Both teams not shooting that well from the TAB stripe tonight. That takes the Queens to 63%.
Second one's good. Kristlyn Carr, by the way, has gone back to the sidelines, so we'll keep an eye on that. She's off the court at the moment. Queens by 7. Queens in this zone. Hurst catches, shoots. That one deep. Rebound, number 8 for Stella Beck. She has been the life of the party in this last quarter. Gets it back from Hunter. Surrounded by blue.
Oh, wow.
Back to the line.
Wow, and just great two in play between Stella Beck and Gracie Hunter. Gracie getting cut off by the baseline. Good little pass inside, and how Stella got that off in between three players. Ends up back at the TAB. Chance for two more to add on to the scoreline.
Well, for any athlete in any sport, male or female, adults or juniors, if you want to know how to lead a team, if you want to know how to be a captain, you need look no further than Stella Beck. Queens by 8. Beck with 20 points. Hoiho need to respond, and they need to respond fast. What can they do here? It falls into the hands of Zoe Richards. Gallagher, undecided to Bradley. Bradley can make something happen. She's a magician. Doesn't go down. Richards keeps it alive. Another offensive rebound. Don't worry about the buzzer going. Clearly hit the ring on a reset. And in the end, the coin official, Matt Bathurst, unsure whose hand it came off, calls the jump. So it's going to be an arrow possession, and it goes the way of the Queens.
It certainly does. They got lucky to get that jump ball out of that situation. Zoe Richards coming up again with the offensive rebound, and then putting him under pressure for the second time to come up with the ball underneath.
What a contest. Watts. Trusdell's done some really good things in this last quarter. Time on the side of the Queens here. They use the clock. That's a tough pass from Hunter. Swooped upon. Hurst heads up. Quickly up the floor. On the charge. Goes all the way to the hoop. Can't put it down.
4 Queens around the defensive rebound of that one, making sure that they came up with it.
Chrislyn Carr still sitting, by the way.
I think we might have seen the last of her tonight. Justin.
Battle on the floor, and it will go the way of the Hoiho. Well, all of a sudden, Megan, the margin's at 8. This has been some sort of a response by the reigning champs.
And just as I say, we might have seen the last of Chrislyn Carr. Here she comes. Getting a little bit of treatment on the sideline there by the physio. May have just got her enough to get her through the next 2 minutes of this game. As you say, it's an 8-point game, but the way the Hoiho have been shooting the ball this game and the amount of threats that they have behind the arc, that's not a big lead to give up if they get a couple of wide open shots.
Hoiho have had 14 more shots tonight, shooting at just 41%. The Queens impressively shooting at 50%. Bradley, again they try and come up with an answer against this zone. Hurst gets Graham off the floor. Mitchell, big foul against Trusdell. Tyler Mitchell headed to the TA, been really impressed with her tonight. 12 points for the youngster.
Yeah, with 1 second on the shot clock there. Elise Hurst, good heads up. I think she wanted to shoot that, just lost a little bit of control of the ball, but found the slicing.
We were talking earlier about the Queens needing others to stand up and score to go with Chrislyn Carr. Stella Beck has 20, Steph Watts 13, Tegan Graham 10, so others have certainly done their bit tonight as Mitchell converts both from the line. We're back to 6. Queens with a foul to give. Hoiho without the same luxury. Carr, Graham, shot clock at 7. Steph Watts is alone on the wing. Beck will go it alone inside, spins to the basket, draws another foul.
There she goes.
Did Samara Gallagher just accidentally clock Stella Beck?
Oh, I'm not sure if it was an accident or whether it was just a, I see you, Stella, I see you.
I'll tell you what Stella saw, a right fist, I reckon. Just walked straight into it. Here she is back at the TAB. 21 in the game for her tonight, 4 of 5 from the strike.
Big smiles from Tegan Graham that we've gotten used to seeing this year, Justin, when we've commentated some of the Queens games.
Second one misses. Todd Marshall was about to call a timeout on a made basket then as well. Hoiho needs something quickly. Look out. Tyler Mitchell, no. Rebound. Trousdale. The blue singlets quickly chase Chrislyn Carr. She's a speedster. Draws the foul. Players falling everywhere at the moment.
To stop her. She's just an absolute wizard, isn't she? She gets through absolutely anything, but I mean, Chrislyn Carr's fast, but she's definitely didn't got the pace on there that she normally does. So I really hope that these last 1 minute and 11 seconds can be kind to her and kind to her legs, because if the Queens do pull this off, they're going to need her tomorrow against the Kahu.
Well, what a lot of people won't know as the first one goes down is Chrislyn Carr, after last week's game against the Kahu, ended up in hospital.
She did. Dehydration and a little bit of vertigo, I think it was, messaging with the Queens that later that night that she was okay, but it was a little bit of a scary moment for the team.
Well, she has 33 in the game. She has a season high 34, and with 1:11 to play, the Queens have a 9-point margin. Will the reigning champs make it through to tomorrow night's grand final? The Kahu await. What a rivalry those two teams have already built up. Tanya Tupu, championship winning coach. Let's have a listen in. In fact, we're inside the last two, of course, so we'll stay out of that with the audio. Playoff for third tomorrow afternoon. At the moment, you would think they're going to come up against the Hoiho. And then, of course, the big one tomorrow night. Can't wait. Kahu, how impressive were they earlier today, taking down the Phi 105-80. Tara Reid, who has had some sort of a season, 29 points in that game. The Australian Test Magin had 28. Amari Thomas, 26 points, 10 rebounds. Penina Davidson, 16 points, 11 rebounds. They all got amongst it.
They certainly did. They were absolutely impressive and looked every part the #1 seeded team of this tournament. There's no question about that. That starting five can compete with anyone, I have no doubt, when they're all firing. But awesome to see Tara Reid come up with 29 points. She's just been going from strength to strength this season.
Shot the three ball at 50% in that game as well. The Kahu, most impressive. 71 seconds to play here tonight. A lot needs to go right for the Hoiho from this point. Paige Bradley's been impressive on the slip. Zoe Richards, oh, great block. How big is that?
She does this. She does this every game. And look at the excitement. Look at the crowd. Look at the bench. They absolutely love it when she does that.
Have a look at this. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. This is what a Josie Jam looks like.
A simple arm. Oh. Every game she comes away with at least one, but wow, what a response by Elise Hurst with a deep three.
7 of 18 shooting from beyond the arc tonight for Elise Hurst. She has 29. Margin at 6. It's a nervous margin.
It is a nervous margin. It's 2 threes, Justin, in the way that they have been shooting the threes. If Elise Hurst can hit a shot 2 feet back from the three-point line, like that, under pressure, that margin is only 2 shots away.
Dad will be watching on from Bendigo in Australia tonight. Former NBL player, jumping Joe Hurst. What a star he was. He'll be pretty impressed with what he's seen from daughter Elise tonight. A miss from the TAB. 63% shooting from the stripe tonight for the Queens. Second one is good at 7. Timeout. Hoiho, both teams still have their Sky City player timeout, and you would expect the Hoiho will advance off the back of this chat.
So what do you do, Justin? This is where I try to re-engage my basketball mind from 20-odd years ago. When you're faced with a minute to go on the clock, you're down 6. Do you go for a quick 2? Do you look for the 3? I guess you take the 3 if you've got your shooters wide open behind the arc.
I think you're getting into the hands of Paige Bradley to facilitate. Zoe Richards on a screen, maybe a slip for that too, but definitely on a screen to free up. Elise Hurst, and if Bradley can get it into the hands of Hurst, it is a safe set of mitts right now. 29 in the game for her.
You talk about that, you get a quick 2 or a quick 3 turnaround, probably foul, put the Queens back on the line to get that possession back. The Queens haven't been shooting well at the line, neither have the Hoiho, but they've shot almost 3 times as many foul shots than the Hoiho, so making their percentage a little bit higher, but 28 attempts versus 10, that's a big difference in the stat line.
Got to say, I've been most impressed with the Hoiho tonight when you consider league MVP Ashton Prechtel sitting, just a huge gap in their lineup. If you're a Hoiho fan, you can be most impressed with what you've seen from your side tonight. They're not done with yet. Hurst on the step back, don't tell me!
There it is, there it is. She's got the hot hand, she is gonna take it.
What a shot from Elise Hurst. Has it given this Hoiho team a chance? She now has to foul Graham to the TAB. Have a look at this.
Wow.
This is what you call a baller.
When you're feeling it and you know that you have to get it up there. Look at these two right here, laughing. Crystal Carr, Elise Hurst, both are having absolute blinders of games, and they can at least appreciate each other.
32
even
in the
who
game.
comes up the winner of this game.
32 she has, Megan. She has 8 triples. Graham makes 2 from the stripe. Sky City player timeout called by the Hoiho. It's a 6-point margin. 42.8 seconds is a lifetime in a game of basketball. Stay on the edge of your seats. I'm telling you, strap yourself in. This one, if this goes into the hands of Elise Hurst, look
Forget
out.
about it. Justin, I've had to move back in my seat because my back is really hurting. This is literally perched on the edge and I can't handle it anymore. So I'm going to have to actually use the backrest for the rest of the game. And I'm going to try to sit still.
Brooke Roscoe sitting right behind me. He's been high-fiving me. He's been jumping up and down. He's like a kid in a lolly shop right now. I'll tell you, the two coaches are pretty nervous, as you would expect. Here we go, 42.8 to play. Got to get it in. Just Richards. Gallagher. Oh, yes! Wow. It's a deep 2.
Called the 2, a foot on the line. Samara Gallagher coming up huge from the corner.
What a game of basketball this has been. This is finals hoops in GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi. Look at that.
Oh, toe just on the line, Justin. Just an absolute millimetre away from being a three-pointer, but what a basket, what a hoop from Samara Gallagher to keep this Hoiho in the game. 4 points, 37 seconds to go. Anyone that knows basketball, if you're new to basketball and you've been watching this year, you know this is a lifetime.
Well, that last 2 points from the last time we spoke about the time took 4 seconds.
And that much action's happened in the meantime.
There was a foul on the inbound, which is why Crystal Carr is at the TAB. 34 for her. 6 of 6 from the line, 7 of 7. She's a 91% shooter from that spot. She's got a season-high 35. She could take down the season-high record, in fact, the Tauihi record of 37. Mitchell, that won't go. Steph Watts is fouled, and now she'll walk the length of the floor to the stripe. 27.3, 6-point margin. I'll tell you what, we've been talking about it all season, Megan, just how this competition has risen to a new level in season number 2. This is only season number 2 of this new Pro Women's League. Year 1 was really good. Year 2 has been out of the box.
Out of the gate. And you talk about the players that we're attracting home. There's been a lot that has been talked about, the WNBA talent that is in this league. We're attracting the New Zealand talent home, and that's exactly what this league was set out to do. Kanina Davidson, home playing for the first time in New Zealand and giving us an opportunity to see her. Wow, what a pass underneath. Hit the 2.
Tyler Mitchell brings it back to 6, under pressure. They get after it. Tegan Graham is fouled. And of course, we mentioned probably 5 minutes ago that foul trouble, team foul trouble, was something the Hoiho needed to worry about as Tyler Mitchell is out of the game. Of course, 6 personal fouls in Tauihi. We don't see too many players fouled out these days.
No, we don't. It'd be great to see a stat on that at the end of this wrap-up of the season, Justin. But we talked about the innovation of the 6 fouls is so for exactly this reason. That
see the stars.
At the end of the games, when it comes down to it, we've got the stars on the court. I think the crowd could just... It's like in golf, you don't talk in someone's backswing. Tegan's asking the crowd to please wait until she's finished.
Hits the second. And that margin now is at 7. Too far for the Hoiho, you would think. Rebound, Watts had it, lost it. They dive on it. Gallagher as well for the Hoiho.
Talk about too far for the Hoiho to make up 7 points in the 3 seconds to go, but they are not.
By the way,
up.
I'm not sure that's how you help a teammate up.
I missed that. Are we not going to see a replay of that?
I think Crystal Carr had a helping hand, and I think Tegan Graham just dropped her. Have a look at this. This is off the rebound. Crystal Carr's about to go down. There's the battle for it. Now watch what happens here. Crystal Carr just waiting to be helped up, or they leave her behind. They don't even worry. Oh, hang on, Tegan Graham. Oh, no, you can sit back down.
after she actually helps Samara Gallagher up as well.
Well, that'll do us. Oh, what a game of basketball. What a Saturday. What a pair of semi-finals. The Kahu are through. The Queens are through. We have got a rematch tomorrow night of last year's grand final. The rivalry continues. The Queens and the Kahu are booked for the big dance. Cannot wait.
I can't wait. There's so much to say about this game. There's so much to say about this matchup tomorrow, but for right now, big congratulations to the Queens, but a huge thank you and congratulations to the Hoiho. Been amazing to watch this team come from bottom of the table to pushing in a semi-final, almost getting across the line after coming back from such a disappointment with Ashton Prechtel. There she is, and she stuck around to watch her team come into this semi-final game. Unfortunately not on the court, but congratulations to the Hoiho. It's been great to watch you this season.
Well, I spoke to Ashton Prechtel before the game and asked her if she'd be going home before headed to Europe to continue her rehab, and she said, no way, I'm staying here in New Zealand. I love it here.
Isn't that saying something? We're talking about that, the league, and it's gone from strength to strength.
Well, Stella Beck was a star tonight. The captain, 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Here she is.
Yeah, you're right. She was an absolute star tonight. Captain's knock from you when it mattered the most. The ball was in your hands. What happened in the fourth quarter there to get this one done?
Oh, I think we just stuck it out. You know, we stuck to mostly the same stuff. We changed a few things about, you know, when we're coming off the on-ball, who was going to be open. But I think we grinded out. We kept pushing the ball. We kept running, and I think that our fitness kind of paid off at the end.
It wasn't easy. They gave you everything they had tonight, but you guys did manage to get it done. What's working for you guys, and how do you get ready for tomorrow with a rivalry that's building in this competition?
I think, first of all, quite a bit of rest. Hopefully everyone just puts their feet up tonight. And I think pushing the ball in transition is going to work for us. I think we've got to tidy up on the O boards, get some more rebounds down our end. But, you know, we're playing good basketball and we're on an upward trajectory, so we just got to roll with the momentum, and the benefits of having the home crowd on our side is, like, awesome for us.
Well, I'll let you rest up, go and stretch with the team. Congratulations. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Well, every team, Megan, needs a leader, and the Queens have got an absolute beauty. 22 points tonight for Stella Beck. She had 10 points in the last quarter. Outside game, inside game, facilitator, driver. She does it all.
She certainly does, and you talk about that from a leadership capability and leadership style. She does everything on the court, and she does it with such passion and style and grace, and she really can rally her team behind her. It's awesome to see her back on the court.
Well, she's definitely in some form right now, the Queens captain. 4 players in double-digit scoring tonight for the Queens, 96 for them, and there were none better than Crystal Carr. A season-high 35 for her. Here she is with Brooke Roscoe.
Yeah, you gave them the 35-piece in the semi-final, but everyone wants to know how's the calf.
Man, it hurts. I'm still cramping right now. So hopefully I get some stretches in and be good for tomorrow.
Yeah, run us through tomorrow. That team that you guys are coming up against, a starting five that is formidable, but you guys know how to get it done, trying to go back-to-back.
Yeah, they're definitely a good team, offensively and defensively. We just got to come with the right mindset and start off defensively right.
You guys sat in that zone for a long time, haven't done that much this year. Why did you guys sit in that zone for so long? It worked, but it was something different.
Yeah, I think just to switch it up. You know, everyone's used to us playing man, so we wanted to switch it up and see how they would react.
Well, good luck for tomorrow. We'll see you. Congratulations. Hell of a match today.
Thank you so much.
Well, she has been one of the stars of Tauihi this season, gets the crowd on their feet, the home crowd and the away crowd. Kristlyn Carr started on fire tonight, and she came up with some clutch baskets down the stretch as well, Megan.
And she certainly did. She started off on fire. It got a bit quiet in the second quarter, even to the point where Coach Tanya Tupu had to just say, hey, look, keep your head up, keep shooting, keep getting those looks in. And she turned around, finished the game with 35. Like you say, she's just such an exciting player to watch, whether you're an opposing team or not.
So this is what it all means. This is where we are headed. Tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 p.m, live on Sky Sport. The battle for third, the Phi and the Hoiho. And then, of course, all roads lead to the big one. The big dance, 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Make sure you join us for this one. Live on Sky Open. It's a rematch, believe it or not. The Kahu and the Queens.
It will be an exciting rematch. We've seen some great battles with these two teams throughout the season, so cannot wait for tomorrow night. Please tune in, give these women your support. It's going to be an epic final.
So there it is. Queens win it by 7, 96-89. Grand final on the way. See you tomorrow.